Yes guys, it's Jando. I've got another tutorial for you today. This one's going to be on Meekz Hood Hottest, the Herbz Bootleg. Really nice jump up tune, really sick jump up bass, so I'm going to show you how to make it. This is the sound that I've come up with, very similar to the bootleg itself, but yeah, we'll give this a listen.
Just so I can flip a pop, just so I can flip a pop, just so I can, just so I can, just so I can, just so I can. All them cold nights sitting in the trap, stacking for the spinner with the flicky on my lap.
Yeah, so that's the bass I've made in Serum. Now I'll show you how you make it. It's a semi-basic Serum patch. It's just a lot of the post-processing makes up like the main sound. So we'll just open this fresh patch here and look at this one. But this is the pattern we're going for here, the MIDI layout. For these kind of jump up basses, the bass starts literally just off of the first kick. As you can see here, we've got the tiniest little gap, and then that's when the notes play. It gives that kind of like if I move this over to the left like slightly, you'll hear the difference. Big difference in that. So that's what we'll start with, is the MIDI patch, and then the actual Serum patch itself. I'll show you how to make that now. So what we're going to do is turn down the random phase on those two and grab a harmonic series. We're going to push this up. We're going to push this up to 3 here. We're going to do +2 on the octaves, +2 octaves, and then we're going to load up the FM from B, and then the shape that we want to make in here is just kind of like a little down ramp kind of shape. We want 1/4, we want envelope, or you could do trigger, but I prefer to use envelope for this one. And open up oscillator B, basic shapes, and then -1 on the octave there. And then for the FM, we're going to do 45%. We're going to turn on the sub, -1 octave, pull this down quickly, and then we're going to pull the level down on oscillator A as well, and then assign LFO 1 to the levels of oscillator A and the sub. This one's going to be at 75% here. Actually no, we're going to bring it back, let's bring this back to 60, and then this one's going to be at 75. Turn on the filter, MG low 18. We're going to bring the cutoff back a little bit, about 100, 103 I've got on there, and then push this onto there. Assign LFO 1 to it. I'm going to do about 55% on there, and that's basically it for the first page. Moving on to the effects tab, we're going to do hyperdimension, pull the rate all the way down and 20% on the mix, and then leave everything else. Turn on the distortion. We're going to do stomp box and have about 75% on the drive there. Compressor, we're going to use multiband, and we're going to push the gain up a little bit, and then we're going to mess with the actual multiband settings itself. So I'm doing 6.5 on the gain there. And what we're going to do for the lows is we're going to put them down just slightly to about 90%. The mids we're going to push to about 133, and then the highs we're going to put at about 120ish, between 115 and 120. And then go ahead, open the filter tab as well. Flanges, PHS 48 plus, pull the cutoff all the way down, and that is the Serum patch. It's going to sound jank to start off with. Bit of a wild bass sound there. Just have a look what key we're in as well. We're in F1 as well. So now we're going to move on to the post-processing, which is a bit of a... this is what makes up the entire sound, basically. So I'll just copy and paste all of these over and then run you through them. So we're going to start off with the delay here. It's we're not using the delay like a normal delay would really be used, if that makes sense. So what I've done with this Ableton delay is if you click sync here, we can choose specifically how much we want to put on the delay. So we're doing 13.5 milliseconds, and then we're going to shift the EQ over to the right here so that it's more of like the high-end EQ of the bass. Copy these settings here if you want to, but you can kind of just eyeball that a little bit. And then we're going to use a vocoder. Now this one's going to be kind of tricky to like tell you all the specific numbers and everything, but again, this one's kind of like slightly personal preference in a way. Like this will change the kind of style, and not the style, like the main tone of the bass. So mess around with it really, but these main lows here are all at 0, and then like the mid and high, like the high sections all the way up, and then the mid section kind of builds up a little bit in this weird kind of scatty pattern. And then the noise as well, you want to reposition the little circle here to anywhere in this box here that you feel sounds the best. You can really mess with it and get some cool sounds out of it. And then yeah, so these two plugins here, like the main like weirdness to the bass, you can kind of hear it starting to push through. Obviously that low end that I haven't cut off yet is like interfering quite a bit, to be fair. So yeah, the next step is going to be saturation, and that's just going to be analog clip. So it's only any saturator will work for this. It doesn't need to be the Ableton saturator, but we just pushed it up to 4.5, just at a gain stage like a little bit. We've got Camel Crusher on the British Clean preset. That's distortion if you don't have that plugin. And then we've got Decapitator. We're on no preset, toned straight up, high all the way right, low all the way left. We've left the auto on here, but you don't have to leave that on. It depends how loud you want the bass. And then we're on the first A section here of the style. Moving on to the reverb. There's not a lot of reverb going on with this bass, to be honest. If you listen to this, it's mainly for like the stereo width. So we've pushed the mix up to 32.6, and then the space is 4.3. You can do that with basically any reverb plugin. Valhalla Supermassive is probably the best one for it, because it gives really, really nice stereo width, so mess around with that. And then we've got Tau Reverb. Now, you don't have to do this, but this is the way that I've chosen to do it. Between each bass in the original tune, it's got kind of a little sweep, almost like a little riser between the two basses to kind of transition into each of them. So what I did was used reverb to make that transition. So I'll show you on the automation here. The wet starts all the way down, and then between the two basses we just push the wet up, so you'll hear it. If I show you on this one here, let me just... So yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. So you don't have to do this with Tau Reverb. You can do this with like a sample, or you could copy and paste your bass patch when you finished it and have one singular bass hit, and put a shitload of reverb onto it, stem that out into audio, and then reverse the clip, and then just use that tail end of reverb that you've created, and just clip that and use that as the riser, because then you've got the same sound rising into the bass. And then we've just got the EQ, which is just a low pass filter to stop the bass from sounding so janky and clashing with the low end so much. And then that's it, you have the sound. It's not complete, like it's not 100% accurate and identical, but every artist has their own, every producer has their own way of making basses. It can be tricky to find the very specific way that they do it. But this is the closest I've managed to get, and I feel like it's pretty accurate. So enjoy using the bass, try and make it your own thing and not copy like the original track too much, please, because that's never good. But yeah, just have fun with it. But that's how you make those kind of Belgium, like kind of scatty jump up sounds. They're not too difficult, but trying to wrap your head around it for the first time can always be a pain in the ass. So yeah, that's the bass. I'm going to upload the patch onto my Dubify if you want to go over and grab that. I'll also upload the sub patch and the noise patch here. Those two sounds there. I'll upload them as well, and they go hand in hand with the bass really nicely. And then I'll probably just whack the project up there quickly, minus the bootleg itself. But I'll just whack this little project up there as well, so you can grab the drums and everything from it as well. But yeah, nice. Check the description for the link to the post. Peace.